Let me just say I understand if you don't watch this or don't make it to the end, whichever one. Use a word. Pick a word. Pick a word. Embarrassing? That works. Pathetic? That works. Anything. Whatever. You're a professional football team. These are pros. These are guys that we drafted with pretty high picks. Guys from the SEC. It's supposed to be the most pro-ready conference. I mean, look at them all. Kyle Williams, Marcel Darius, Kelvin Shepard. All SEC guys. Josh Bird, Pac-12. Searcy, ACC. Mario Williams, ACC. Barnett, Pac-12. Gilmore, Brooks, SEC. Aaron Williams, Big 12. What did we just watch? What did I just watch? If the world ends on Friday, that will be the last Bills game you ever watched. A 50-17, excuse me, I don't want to shortchange them any. 50-17 beatdown in Toronto, of all places. What a waste of my time. I went. What a waste of my time. Left after the third quarter. Surprised I stayed that long. Let me continue by saying you're professional. You're a professional football team. Therefore, you don't lose these last two games on purpose. And I know everyone is, I'm done with them, whatever. Just lose. Just lose. No. You don't lose games on purpose. I'm one of the biggest, I have one of the loudest mouths on that side of the argument. You do not lose games on purpose. You're, like I said, you're professional football players. You're getting paid to play professional football. I would love to play professional football. Would you love to play professional football? I would, personally. I think it would be awesome to play professional football, get paid at least hundreds of thousands, if not millions, multi-millions of dollars to play football. That's awesome. And you're going to go out there and lose on purpose? No. It just doesn't work like that. Way too much pride. Way too much. I mean, you might be a little bit depressed with the way things are going, and your head might not be in a game. You might take a couple plays off. I don't know how that works. I can't be there. I can't relate. But you don't lose on purpose, just so you can have a better draft pick. We might not have to worry about that anyway, because the way the Bills played on Sunday was just, they might just lose all on their own. Sunday was just an absolute joke. It's really the only way I can describe it. It was ridiculous. First play of the game, Kelvin Shepard comes in and smothers Russell Wilson. Did a linebacker blitz the rest of the game? I saw Bird go a couple times, maybe Wilson. Did a linebacker blitz the rest of the game, or was that it? Did we just lay back and watch Russell Wilson single-handedly carve the Bills apart? He scored more points than the Bills did on his legs. He scored 3 touchdowns by himself on his legs and ran untouched. Shaking Mario Williams out of his little boots. Whoever else was in his way. Nobody was in his way. For the first time, I am now certain. I had been on the fence about it. I had come to his defense. For the first time, I am now certain I don't really want Chan Gailey back next year. After watching that trash, that hot piece of garbage that was on the field on Sunday, you just completely did not have your team remotely ready to play the Seahawks. 2 guys looked like they were there to play to me. Stevie Johnson, CJ Spiller. Those look like the only guys that were in the game the whole time. That showed emotion, showed passion. On the defense, everyone's just running around with their arms up, like, what's going on? Like, they look mad, but, like, it's sort of like, what? They're just like, what the hell? Well, whatever. They couldn't figure it out. When I predicted it, I was right. The Bills would score 17 points. A little bit off on the Seahawks. They just imposed their will. Whatever they wanted to do, it worked. Get off the field on third downs? No way. Everybody played bad on defense. Everybody. Name a player. What do they do? Whenever you allow 50 points, and all right, one was a pick six, and another, maybe one or two turnovers set them up in a really good field position. But still, take away 3 touchdowns, and they still have 29 points. It's ridiculous. Like, play with some pride, heart, anything. The season's over. I mean, they're 5-9. I want them to win the last 2 games. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anybody else says. I want them to win. I'm never going to turn on a game hoping that they lose. I might be indifferent to the fact that they lose because it does improve their draft status. I'll be a little less upset. I apologize for the jump cut and for the delay in the video. For the first time ever, I was interrupted while making said video and couldn't finish it. But that's what I'm here for now. Let's pick up right where we left off. Bills. Murdered by Seahawks. Sucks. Season. Over. Win the last 2 games against divisional opponents? Yes, please. Some of you might be skeptical because, well, if they win these last 2 games, it might save Gailey's job. It could, I guess, but Russ Brandon said they want meaningful games in December. And here we are, 2 games into the season, don't mean a thing. And for all intents and purposes, last week didn't really either. So, brings up the Dolphins. Levitre, Chandler back to practice, McKelvin to IR, Kirk Morrison back on the team. I don't know what's going on with that. Just need somebody for 2 games. He's probably not even going to be active anyway. But let's see what the Bills do against the Dolphins. The Dolphins are technically still in the playoff hunt, so they still have something to play for. They lost in Buffalo on Thursday night about a month ago, and they probably could have won that game. Bills did a good job of getting to Tannehill. I think they can do that again, and I say that with skepticism because of the defense I just watched. I mean, how... They ran so much man-to-man against a quarterback who just kept running on him. I don't get it. You run man-to-man and you trust your defensive lineman. Well, Russell Wilson was running with it and you stayed in man-to-man. You run zones, doesn't eliminate it, but it lessens the chance that he'll be able to get into that much open space, right? So... yeah, we just need to see some sort of improvement on the defensive side of the ball. I think you will see it to a point. I don't think they can possibly play as bad as they did last week. Although they've been blown out 5 times in the last 15 games. That's a third of their last 15 games they've been blown out and allowed over 45 points. Week 17 against New England last year, 49-21 or whatever it was, blown out. After getting up 21-0. Against the Jets, week 1 against the Jets, 48-20. That's back-to-back games, essentially, giving up at least 48 points. Patriots, 52 in week 4. That's 3. 49ers, 45. And then, this past week, Seahawks. Yeah, that's 5. 49ers, Seahawks, Patriots twice, Jets. Allowed 45 points 5 times in the last 15 games. Is that acceptable? Because I don't think it is. Just look at just look at Gailey's record. I know it's been bad, and like I said, I defended him, but he's won 15 games in 3 years. Ugh. Even if we split these, which maybe, let's just say they split him. He wins 16 games in his first 3 years. That's an average, 5 to 6 games per year. Ridiculous. So a third of the games. It would be 16 and out of 48, 20, 16 and 32. Simple math. 16 and 32. I mean, right now he's 15 and 31 in 46 games. That doesn't cut it. So he is out to prove something against the Dolphins. He has to prove that he can get this team ready, keep them in the right mindset. I still don't think the Bills are going to win this week. I don't think they'll beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins have something to play for. Tannehill's playing better again, even though he's been on and off. Reggie Bush got running last week. Just on the road. Bills in Miami. It's more like a vacation to them, I think. I don't see the Bills winning that game. I don't think they'll allow 50 points again. Oh, God, I hope not. That would just be... Of course, at that point, it's... If they do, Gailey's going to get fired. So maybe you want them to, but I don't want them to lose, so... I would love to beat the Dolphins and the Jets to close out the season. Show me something. But like I said, I'm going to pick the Dolphins to beat the Bills by the tune of 27-21. Yeah, 27-21. Because we don't kick field goals. So, I mean, that's that. I wish I could give you more optimism about playoffs and whatnot. I just can't. This is a preview video for an absolutely meaningless game. And once the season's over, then I'll start giving you videos about coaching, free agents, season reactions, draft, all that stuff. We'll talk about that stuff. Don't worry. For right now, this is week 16. Bills, Dolphins. Go Bills, right? I guess. Have a good weekend, guys.